Hey you guys, welcome back to Carnelian Spirituality and Tarot. This is Mandy, and today we're going to be talking about perfectionism. It's been on my mind a lot lately in starting these videos, and so I wanted to just share and talk about all that I'm thinking about right now and how we can challenge ourselves to better show up in our lives from a not so perfectionist standpoint. So first and foremost, I'm already failing. So first and foremost, perfectionism is the refusal to accept anything less than perfection. Whew, that's a heavy burden. And ultimately, I have a lot of ideas for videos that I've wanted to do, but I haven't done them because everything's not perfect. I beat myself up in regard to what I look like. My house is gross. Like, this is the cleanest room in the house. And like, there's stuff that was still in boxes. Like, we have no space for it. Everything is kind of everywhere, and I don't want to show up for you like that. Like, everything I put my heart and soul into, I try and do from the most professional level as possible. That's why I like expensive things. I like quality. I've always wanted to do everything from a professional perspective. So in starting these videos, like, I want a backdrop, I want perfect lighting, I want, nice clothes, I want hair and makeup, I want, I want to present myself to you in the best way possible, but that's not always reality. And oftentimes I will have a feeling of wanting to show up in these videos, and I don't. It's very much this Instagram life versus reality, right? So today I'm at yoga and I friggin' love it, and I leave and I'm like joyful, I'm like skipping, and I'm so happy and so at peace, and I'm like, I totally look like Adrienne Micheleur. I'm really good at yoga. I look at myself and I'm like, what kind of white trash, like stray cat mated with a hobbit and, had this person doing yoga. Wake up call. Yoga is a very beautiful metaphor for like Instagram versus reality. Okay, so on the left side of my body, I'm like a warrior hobbit. Like, I got it, in control, I'm doing the arm and the leg lift at the same time, and the core soaked in, and, like, I've got it. And then on the other side, it's like a dumpster fire of shaking and twitching and falling, and like, it's not beautiful. But it is beautiful because it's humanity, damn it, and it's me trying for something, and it's me getting stronger. I love that challenge so much. Just this idea of who we want to be in life and who we are. And when it comes to perfectionism, usually we have these ideals, these goals, these ambitions, and man, if we don't accomplish them, do them in the right time, do them in the right way, we beat ourselves up. The absolute definition of perfectionism is the refusal to accept anything less than perfection. So it's just constant failure of ourselves, because it's an impossible standard. It's just like wallop after wallop of, like, after failure, and it's not failure. It's just humanity. It's just the journey. And so I've had a really difficult time putting myself out there in these videos, even though I know in my heart I have so much to share and so much I'm supposed to share, because I don't have the perfect backdrop and the perfect lighting and the ring light and the blah, blah, blah. By the way, thank you so much to Stacy for giving me this little contraption thing so I don't have to. Anyway, so today I'm showing up for you guys completely in my real life. I really like to not feel real, but mostly I wanted to talk about perfectionism because I need to hear it. Also, when we're walloping ourselves again and again and again, all of these feelings of failure, worthlessness, not good enough, unlovability, envy, jealousy creep in, which then creates this panic and anxiety and depression, which leads to dark nights of the soul and like missing 8 years of your life. So we don't want to do that. We want to kind of nip these things in the bud, these feelings of perfectionism and worthiness and being lovable as is and right now, so that we can move forward and show up for the world and for ourselves in the best and most beautiful way. Just love yourself. Share, like, and subscribe. Bye-bye. What we need is grace and presence in our lives. The grace to try for something, to fail at something, the presence to be able to sit with what we want, with our goals, how we contribute to those goals on a daily basis, on a momentary basis, the grace to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Presence is everything. There's a movie called I Am Legend with Will Smith, and it's like this apocalyptic zombie movie. These creatures take over the earth, and when I saw it, like these creatures, they're super gnarly, and they stand in these packs in the dark, like in corners, and they just like breathe, and they're just like and when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, my people, can I get in there, you guys? Like, okay, I know what we're doing here. And so this whole idea of like hashtag hustle and like boss babe and like I'm just gonna hustle until I get to the top, and this whole time you're manifesting, you are telling the universe your intentions, you're showing up with your energy into the universe, and so that's what they're going to continue to give you. So if you're manifesting and creating from a place of hustle and anxiety, worry, panic, drivenness, but not in a healthy way, the universe is going to continue to create that in your life. However, if you start a goal or a dream from a place of mindfulness, presence, grace, beauty, sense of life purpose, then you can create from that place the rest of your life. You have solid foundations, firm foundations to put your building blocks on as you continue to grow. And that's what's beautiful, because then you're at the top of the mountain just sitting there meditating like, my life is great. And that's what we want. We want to be on a pile of money in a mansion, feeling really good about ourselves, leaving a legacy of beauty and inspiring others to want to do the same. I honestly don't feel like there's any emotional fulfillment in success. I feel like it's a relief. You might be like, yeah, I did it, but what is the cost of that? Like, to what extent? I mean, I could have stayed with my photography business and, you know, drove myself into the ground and postcarded everywhere, but it wasn't emotionally fulfilling. So yeah, I could have been that six-figure photographer, but I've tried for that kind of thing before, and I know what fills me, and it just wasn't going to fill me, so I had to give it up completely, selling all of this equipment that I invested in, and it seems crazy to my friends and family, but it's just not fulfilling me, which means record scratch, wiki, I have to change that narrative. I have to take a hard left, and so I did. Rather than working from a place of desperation and jealousy and envy and drivenness, it's so much better to drop into our hearts, to make healthy decisions, because we're always making progress in our best self-interest. The purpose rather than accomplishment. And I promise you, purpose feels like accomplishment. Perfectionism, for all my creatives out there, also keeps us from creating, from putting ourselves out there. Oh my gosh, I have so many ideas all the time, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it well. Forget it. I can't do it well. If you're creative, this is like death, like fairies die somewhere when we're not creating. And I know for me personally, like lately I've just had this fire to like sing, just to like get something out. All of this emotion, all of this stuff, I just wanted to express myself in some way. But right now my voice totally sucks. I never practiced. But after gallbladder surgery especially, I have not been able to breathe as well. So I probably really should take lessons. I'm gonna call you, sis. And so rather than sharing that, getting it out, like fan is in the window now, people can hear me. One of my goals of my life is to have a house that has like a dance studio, a room that is like a concrete, penetrable, unpenetrable force, like a prison of creativity, where I can just dance with wild abandon. It'll be like all, you know, you can't hear anything. Where I can just like have at it creatively and nobody can hear me or get me at any point. And then when I'm good enough, then I can be like, oh, look at these things I've been working on. But in the meantime, I don't want people to hear shit. So maybe if I'm feeling brave enough, maybe I'll record some songs on here and put them up on the channel. I'm not holding myself to that because I've got a lot to do. And in the meantime, not singing, not being creative. I mean, I'm being creative in like 18 million other ways, but it's this emotion that isn't coming out. You know, it's a very distinct way that it wants to come out. And so it's like trapped in my body, which never feels good and it isn't healthy. Creativity is a whole other video. But what I will say, part of ourselves, like coming out of birth, like, here I am, that to not create, it's darkness. Artists need to create to get out those emotions. Otherwise, we're way too empathic and we go straight to depression, anxiety, or vices. But when we're creating and creating, that's typically the time that we're most successful and the most happy. Also, in regard to perfectionism, most importantly, we're not showing up for the people in our lives, because usually we're just like hustling so hard, worrying, panicking, anxietying so hard that we have nothing left to give, because we're just giving to the hustle. rather than showing up for people that we care about, rather than showing up for ourselves. We're in alignment with punishing ourselves because we're not aligned with our hearts. We're aligned with an idea of success. All that to say, today, look at me in all of my disgusting, sweaty, whatever, large Marge white trash glory. And if I can show up for you this way, you can show up for the people in your lives this way. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's take a look at what areas need examining. Why are we driven? What are our goals? Why are we doing our lives this way? What can be done instead? What is this teaching us? Why are we tolerating this for ourselves? How does it make us feel? And ultimately, what's a better choice? Well, the choice for me today was to be congratulatory to myself for going to yoga, have an amazing experience, and to show up in this video for you, honest and as sincere as possible. Scratching my face and thinking. And I hope you find some encouragement here. I hope that you relinquish a little bit of the reins, a little bit of that wince in the mirror, a little bit of that need to control how I'm going to do this thing, this project, this goal, and to just feel your way through it. A heart-led life, a life of purpose, is a happy life. And that's something, obviously I'm teaching myself in this moment as well. So with that said, thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'm so grateful for anybody that watches these. I love you all. I really want to establish a beautiful community here. Just a few quick announcements. I have some summer sale readings available, so check out that down below with the link. I will be at Spiritual Fusions Expo in Fletcher, North Carolina, I believe August 17th and 18th. So if you've been wanting a tarot reading, a personal reading, definitely check me out there. And I will see you all in my next video. I'm sending you guys love and light and beauty and a little bit of a messy bun hair knot today.